Welcome in Wednesday edition, Blue Sky Live here with you today. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford Studio. Ole Miss continuing preseason camp and the lead up to August 31st and their season opener against Furman. So we'll go through some college football topics today, a few other things, and including some NFL stuff today as well. So appreciate all you guys in the stream or wherever you're listening from today. We'll get into it in a minute. First, tell you about Blue Sky locations all across Mississippi, including in Oxford with the Oxford Exxon. You know about lunch specials, you know about ribs, pulled pork, side items, desserts, and much more. They can take care of you. Sweet Daddy's locations all across the state. Let them take care of dinner tonight again. $5.69 for two sides bread, any size of fountain drink, and more. And again, coming to you from the Clark Ford Studio.
We are Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900 is the number. Call it. Ask for our friend Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. It's right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote. The rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around, of course. You can do what I recommend that you do, what I've done on, 4 occasions now, and that's jump into a Clark Ford today. You will love the product. You'll love the service. People at Clark Ford want to be your car guy. They want to be your truck guy. They'll take great care of you. Don't forget also to keep an eye on their Facebook page. Often deals pop up on Facebook first that are there before you'll see them in your normal automotive searches or even on the Clark Ford website itself. So keep an eye on that as well if you're looking for something specific or you're looking just for a great deal. 662-257-1900. Guest join on the Campbell Clinic hotline. From fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions, the pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi providing expert care for growing bodies. So visit campbellclinicoxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111.
M. Smith saying that Princely gave a pronunciation. You kind of hit it pretty good yesterday. I am scared of his last name to where I haven't even tried it yet. We're just sticking with
Meal.
Yeah, is that it?
I think so.
I can't. It's not. Muscle memory is not just rolling off my tongue right now with it, so I'm just staying away from it. It will literally be something I have to practice without a microphone, I think, to get it correct.
I'm almost certain it's Meal.
Okay. Yeah, that looks like the way that he has put it on social media. EW-MAHMI-ELLEN.
I'd have to look at it.
Yeah, so I think you're relatively accurate there as I'm looking at it. That's pretty good. I'm impressed. That's not bad at all. Stuff at rebelgrove.com. Football. A little baseball. We're not doing much baseball right now. It's football season, but I did that White Sox thing that I mentioned yesterday was going to come. So that is up, talking about Tim Elko, Jacob Gonzalez, and Calvin Harris. The one comment I will make on that as we kind of move forward is that I saw somebody say cold water. It's just very hard to make Major League Baseball. No matter who you are or what level you are, it's very damn difficult, even for the White Sox who suck. So it's not cold water. It's just giving you an idea of where they are sitting right now.
Here's a great example. Gray Kessinger was probably I feel safe in saying, was by far the best player on every Little League team that he ever played on. He was the best player on every high school team that he ever played on. Probably the best player that on any travel team that he ever played on. And he probably started playing on some pretty elite travel teams.
Mm-hmm.
He was, one of the 5 best players in the history of the Ole Miss program?
I mean, he was named the number 1 shortstop in the country his junior year. So, I mean, that puts you pretty high up there.
An elite college player.
Sure.
He's made the major leagues.
Yes.
A little bit on a seesaw between AAA and the majors.
Yeah.
With a very good franchise that's got really good players in front of him. But the point is it's just really freaking hard to make it.
Yeah.
It's just really hard to make the major leagues.
And actually what I was, the thing that I was pointing out there with that story, and Josh Nelson of Sox Machine and Blue Wire Partner was kind enough to fill in the gaps there for that, was that Elko to this day has been a phenomenal story. It was actually a positive story because Elko was taken in the 10th round as a cheap sign is just a senior and older guy with one knee and all this stuff, and he just keeps hitting and keeps hitting and keeps hitting. And the fact that he has a chance to get up 2 years later is actually phenomenal. That was what the story was about. But inside that, because it was trying to do thorough coverage, Jacob Gonzalez is really struggling to hit AA pitching. It's really hard to hit AA pitching. That's where a lot of prospects are. The Southern League specifically is very good from a pitcher standpoint. The parks are not offensive parks. It's a tough league.
Yes.
The Southern League, by definition and by reputation, is a very tough league to hit in.
If you ever want to have an appreciation for professional baseball, go to some AA games. That's the level to go to. Go to some AA games, and you'll realize, man, night in and night out, these guys are playing in front of mostly empty stadiums, and they're starting to face really good pitching. They're starting to face really good hitting. Every move that they make is being judged, measured. It's a grind.
Yeah.
In the Southern League, you're playing in the heat, night in and night out, humidity. It's a mental grind too. It's just very difficult. Again, man, it's just really difficult to make the major leagues. And when you see a guy make the major leagues and stick for 15 seasons, the one thing you can say is that dude is good. He is a good player.
Yeah. Again, go read the story, but Nelson basically said he does believe Elko has a chance of getting the August-September call-up and playing DH for the White Sox as the year closes out. And look, hell of an accomplishment. So,
oh, shit. Yeah,
I mean, they did win a game last night, led with that. The White Sox beat the A's 5-1 last night, snapping their 21-game losing streak, which tied an American League record, tying the 88 Baltimore Orioles with 21 in a row. The, I guess not Major League record, because that's some team that's not National League or American League from the 1800s. But from an American League, National League standpoint, the 61 Phillies lost 23 in a row, and that is the
oh wow,
that is the record.
It'd be a long month.
Well, and as you said, the White Sox also have a 14-game losing streak this season too. Yeah. So they have gone 35 games over 2 streaks without a win. They are currently, where is it? 28 and 88.
God, what's the Rockies?
I don't know. I have to look.
Yeah,
they're 28 and 88. Before yesterday, their last win was July 10th.
Wow,
a month.
That's a long month.
It's a freaking month. That's what it is. It is a freaking month without winning a game.
Been some meetings.
Well, I did love this. So I just because they helped me out, I linked the most recent Sox Machine podcast, and they had changed their tagline under their podcast to "We watch the White Sox, so you don't have to." That was where they had gone with their tagline there. So it was good. The Rockies are 42 and 72, so they have a 16-game lead on the White Sox. And there's a lottery now. They're no guaranteed the first pick.
No,
I mean, you can't even go, hey.
In baseball, it doesn't really work like that either. I mean, it's not like
LeBron's not hanging out over here where it's ready to go.
It's like this year, everybody's tanking for Cooper Flagg, where you look at him and you're like, yeah, he's going to be a star in the NBA. Baseball just doesn't really. I mean, Paul Skeen says hello, but still.
Yeah. So I don't know. I found it all interesting. As again, that's up rumblegrove.com and more this morning. It's on the front page along with Neal's thorough practice report from last night and at Vaught Hemingway Stadium.
15 minutes of basically walk through stretching drills. I thought I did a good job.
Pads for the first time.
They were in pads.
Okay.
They were not hitting in the period that I was watching.
They were not.
Not at all.
Well, I mean, Lane, he said on Monday, nobody's hitting. We're not hitting. We're not tackling to the ground. We're just hanging out at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it sort of just kind of is what it is. And I've got a few football topics, but I don't want to go to a break in a second. Did you see this? I guess yesterday. It was yesterday. The head basketball coach at Howard University took it upon himself to do a bunch of research with private equity firms. This is where we have newly jumped the shark in this entire scope of what we're doing in college athletics. Is the coach at Howard wants to sell a third of the basketball program for a $100 million private equity valuation.
Huh.
Literally sell a piece of the overall program where
How's that work?
You're asking questions. Howard was then asked about it and its leadership and said they had not thoroughly vetted their head coach's scheme at this point. They told ESPN in a statement that they really appreciate his enthusiasm on the subject, but that they had not thoroughly looked through the entire thing. Kenny Blakeney is his name. He wants to put $50 million toward renovations at Burr Gymnasium, and then he would like to spend $4 to $5 million a year in name, image, and likeness while giving up a third of the overall program.
At Howard.
Yeah, how in the hell do you think you have a $300 million valuation? Is my problem.
Yeah, see, this is where I'd like to.
Take me through the numbers. I'll sit here.
Let's put this on Shark Tank.
Yes.
Let's let Mr. Wonderful and Mark Cuban and those guys. I want to hear one of them say, "How did you come up with this valuation?"
Yeah, this isn't going on QVC. So what are we doing here? How are we getting here? So he did. He want to go a third.
You like that show? It's one of my favorites.
Oh, I
shows.
love it.
Love that show.
Obsessed with it. Yeah.
Love
even the reruns. I'm in.
I love every single one of the people that are on the thing
because it's on like CNBC for the reruns or something
that right?
now. Yeah, there's a channel. Yeah, there's no way you get here from an evaluation standpoint. My favorite part is that their AD does like the guy and is like definitely not trying to criticize his skills or whatever,
Yeah.
but at the same time he's going, guys, because he leads the quote with men's basketball head coach Kenny Blakeney is a terrific leader of young men and made a significant contribution to our athletics department and the university at large.
Yeah,
we loved our guy.
Yeah.
We love our guy.
Not sure Kenny is a venture capitalist. That's all we're saying. Kenny may be a little over his skis right now.
Coach Blakeney continues to enthusiastically explore ideas to generate financial support that will allow our student athletes to be more competitive and represent our university. Good.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Recent remarks attributed to Coach Blakeney reflect his own personal ideas that have not been vetted by university leadership.
I mean, we heard him. We got questions too.
The question would be, because I know I'm common sense told me probably what Kenny's proposal said. Here's the thing. While $4 to $5 million would run whatever league Howard is in, I don't even know. I think the MEAC.
That sounds right.
Okay. Let's go with that.
Sure. If it's not right, it's close to right.
Yeah, I apologize.
It's right enough.
Okay.
It's more right than his valuation, probably.
That would obviously win you the league, but in today's world, and this is the scary sentence, $4 to $5 million ain't going and winning the title.
No.
I mean,
listen, man,
because his argument would be, well, $4 to $5 million then puts us here, and you make the Sweet 16, and you do this, and blah. I mean, you're competitive. That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
but it ain't Duke.
Well, no,
it ain't Kansas State.
It's not.
I know what they've been spending lately.
It's not the top 3/4 of the SEC.
Think about that for a 13 scholarship roster. Is that right? Maybe it's going to 15 now.
I was trying to remember the new proposal thingy.
I think it's 15.
I think that's right. No one will use 15. Well, they'll use scholarships for the walk-ons. The walk-ons won't walk on anymore. They'll get scholarships, but they won't get any NIL. Good deal if you can get it. Oh, to be basically a scout team.
Yeah.
You'll get 10 scholarship dudes. You'll get 10 dudes that you pay, and then you'll get 5 guys that you'll make a scout team, and you'll give them full rides.
Correct, yes.
That's my guess. I mean, I've heard some numbers on some SEC teams. I'm not going to repeat them because it'd be irresponsible. But if they're even remotely true, it's like, whoa. Really?
And that heightens expectations, requirements, and like anything else, not everybody can win.
No.
At all.
No. Well, again, we do the thing about how many SEC teams are believe that they're CFP teams. It's like
half the damn league.
7 to 9.
Yeah.
Well, here I feel very comfortable saying they're not going to get 7 teams in the 12-team playoff. So there's going to be disappointments. And then how do you react to those disappointments? That might be what ultimately corrects the market, frankly.
Speaking of
you know
ways,
what I mean? I mean,
sure.
if you're all fired up to go to Disney for a week, and you get to Disney and half the rides are broken, the lines are ridiculous, the accommodations are bad. All of a sudden, you're like, we're not going to do that again, or we're not spending that much on it again. I don't know that that's the greatest example in the world, but
I get it. That's fine.
kind of what I'm driving at. I mean, like if you're a big, I don't know, Tennessee booster, I don't know. This is where I'm wrong. I correct myself. Nope, they'll just double down.
Wrong school.
They'll just give more.
Wrong school.
Well, there might be all schools that way.
Yeah.
Missouri might be a better example.
Sure.
Hey, they're all jacked up for this big season, and then it doesn't go well, and people go, screwed this.
Speaking of ways to raise money, have we seen a picture? I don't guess they're on the shelf yet of the razorback nuggets that are coming. Have we seen? Do they look like razorbacks and or boars? What does this look like?
I have not seen the actual nugget. I have seen the bag.
Have you?
Pictures of the bag.
Okay. Tyson Foods in Arkansas have unveiled the new razorback nuggets in the shape of a razorback. Said, quote,
I was aware of this before it came out, by the way.
Were you?
This was something that was discussed in some business classes.
Really?
Yes.
The opportunity to combine food and sports is a great opportunity with the announcement of Calipari coming to Arkansas and our close relationship and proximity to the University of Arkansas. This is Tyson talking. Proximity to Arkansas got us excited as Razorback fans ourselves that, hey, could we get a Razorback nugget and have it on the shelf before next football season? Arkansas PR director Kevin Trainer, now just says PR, by the way, for Kevin.
Yeah.
The branding of it, the Razorback, the trademark, down to the very shape of it. Tyson was very intentional. They wanted a nugget that looked like a Razorback. We worked alongside Tyson to look through to work through that and make sure the product was going to be true to the Razorback brand. I need to see what these look like because a dino nugget does mostly look like a dinosaur.
Yeah,
they do a pretty good job there.
I would think you can make it look like a Razorback,
but you can't get the tusk. So isn't it going to be kind of pig blob-like in a way?
Probably.
I have questions on exactly the...
It'd be pretty cool if they could get the tusk. It would be.
But it would fall off.
Still be cool.
It would have very little...
Probably come off on the air fryer.
Yeah. Which is the best way to do a frozen chicken nugget, by the way.
It's about the best way to do a lot of things.
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, I reheated even like a piece of fish that had come off of Sandland yesterday. It was really, really good.
Yeah.
Just heated it up, kept it flaky. No. It is essentially replaced the microwave in like 75% of applications. I mean, there's still things you need the microwave for, but for the most part, the air fryer has completely replaced the microwave.
Yeah, Laura makes this chicken thing where you pound the chicken. It's like you pound it out and then you bread it with like panko.
Oh yeah, sure.
And I mean, it's good the first time, but it's so good left over. Air fry, you reheat for like 5 minutes and then max crisp for 2. Phenomenal. On a salad, sandwich by itself.
Big Ben does have a point. We're doing chicken shaped like pork at this point. Literally what we're doing. We're
yeah. Look, here's what I can tell you about them though. As it pertains to basketball, I think they've sold a lot of nuggets.
Is this only a release in Arkansas?
I don't know.
How are they releasing this thing?
I don't know. My guess is yes. It's just up there or maybe in the surrounding areas.
I'm interested.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm interested. So they already do spooky nuggets like ghosts, bats, and pumpkins. Dino nuggets obviously are very iconic.
The dino nuggets were actually a senior project for somebody in marketing.
Was it really?
Turned into a really big deal. Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep. Chicken nuggets are a pretty popular thing with young people.
They
sort
are.
of everywhere.
Everywhere.
Turns out that chicken nuggets shaped like little dinosaurs was a hit.
Oh, look. I have kids.
I mean,
it makes sense.
Someone got
Sometimes they go, no, I want those. I want my
Yeah.
dinosaur.
Someone got an A on that.
There's a
project.
reason Chef Boyardee does all the ravioli and stuff and the shapes of Mario characters and
course.
everything else.
Of course.
I was susceptible to that as a kid. I'd eat my spaghetti and meatballs that were shaped like.
Yeah.
That's a food that I probably ate a ton of as a kid that I can safely say I have not had a can of Chef Boyardee in at least 2.5 decades.
Yeah. But when you were a kid,
hey, SpaghettiOs and the whole deal. Let's get it going. It is around Arkansas, so the nuggets will be on sale in the freezer aisle at Walmart's around Arkansas. Sam's Club will carry them beginning in September. And there's also logistics being worked out to sell them at Reynolds Razorback Stadium this season also. So
this is the first time that Tyson's gotten like specifically
for Arkansas
involved in U of A athletics.
That's what I'm always curious about is those natural large company tie-ins at schools where it's your obvious supporter, but how do you make that work or not work?
Yeah.
On that scale.
Heavily involved in basketball right now. And their emergence, sort of Tyson's emergence as a major NIL donor, potentially changes the game with their football search that's coming up.
Yeah, sure. You feel confident they have a search coming up?
Yeah, I'm like 90% confident they've got a search coming up one way or the other.
He's just done.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you told me that he won this year, he'd walk away winning.
Think he's coaching next year?
No.
You think he's taking the year off?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I believe.
Not a coordinator or something where it goes?
No, I think he's going to go retire. And
really?
Live on the lake. And
worse things.
Hey.
Worse things.
There's worse things than having, what's he got, $15, $16 million in your bank?
Mm-hmm.
Hang out on Lake Hamilton?
It'd be all right.
You know, ride your boat around a little bit?
Yeah. Not the worst Saturday, Tuesday, Monday morning.
Well, it's a hell of a Tuesday compared to what they do now.
Yeah, it's a good point. So, all right, let's switch over to football in a second. Before we do that, tell you about Prime Shrimp. Speaking of food, primeshrimp.com is where you go. Buy 5 pouches or more, get 25% off. Use the code RG with primeshrimp.com. Again, tons of different flavors for you. A couple of my favorites, the signature. It's a garlic kind of all-purpose flavor. They've got the New Orleans style barbecue. It's their best seller. They got full meals in a bag, the French Quarter Alfredo, the garlic herb butter, and much more. So whatever flavor you like, they've got one that will match your taste buds with Prime Shrimp. Again, use code RG, 25% off with 5 pouches or more at primeshrimp.com.
Sorry about that. My post-game columns this season will be brought to you by Window Hero. From window cleaning to pressure washing, gutter cleaning, gutter guards, everything in between, Window Hero has the experience, equipment, and expertise to make your property look and feel brand new. If you're in North Mississippi, let Window Hero make your home or business's exterior look amazing. Their experts are fully bonded and insured. Window Hero provides specialized equipment, exclusive cleaning solutions, a satisfaction guarantee, and they can clean up to 4 stories on buildings. They have locations in Oxford, Tupelo, Pontotoc, Holly Springs, New Albany, and more. Roby and Susan Allen are dedicated to helping Oxford and all of North Mississippi with their windows, gutters, and everything in between. So call Window Hero at 662-510-7077 to get an estimate. Learn more at windowhero.com. The practice reports up at rebelgrove.com. Monday and Tuesday practice reports brought to you by Southern Q Sauce Craft Barbecue Sauce. Southern Q Sauce is crafted by hand in small batches to capture that tangy, sweet, and smoky taste with just enough heat. The original recipe features the deep South flavors of apple cider vinegar, sweet brown sugar, tomato, and hickory. It's a blend of Tennessee, Mississippi, and the Carolinas with a sweet, smoky finish. Southern Q Sauce also has a variety of rubs, from Old Faithful, which is an all-purpose rub, to Old Smoky, Honey Pecan, the Clucker, and the Longhorn. Whether you're a professional pitmaster or an occasional backyard chef, Southern Q Sauce has the sauces and rubs to have your friends and family coming back for more. Check it out for yourself. Go to www.southernqsauce.com. Use the discount code REBELGROVE for 15% off your order. Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? Are you already retired? Should you consider Roth conversions? These are just some of the questions that can only be answered with a personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Sego Wealth Management, specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan. Whether you meet at his office in Collierville or prefer Zoom from anywhere, schedule a free discovery meeting and see what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com. And we're brought to you by Grenada Home Center, paints by Benjamin Moore, Pittsburgh Paints, Farrell Calhoun, flooring of any and all types, stone countertops, whether you're looking for granite, quartz, or anything else. And they've got window treatments from plantation shutters to whatever else suits your fancy. It's Grenada Home Center, 1301 Sunset Drive, Suite H in Grenada. Call them at 662-226-3127.
In the stream, market is Q sauce, the letter Q hyphen sauce. He's asking C-U-E or Q. It is Q, the
Q.
letter Q.
As in Quinn or quit or
Quiet.
quilt or quiet.
What is the Q word for like the where you say alpha, delta? What is Q?
Q is in quiet, probably, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Like the alphanumeric.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Or that wouldn't be right, but whatever. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. There's a word for it, and I cannot think of it off the top of my head right now. Injury reports coming to the SEC for 2024. Sounds like. So the ADs are going to meet here soon. They're going to finalize this thing, something the Big Ten's already been doing. They started in 2023. And frankly, the Big Ten been pushing for it for years. The Big Ten started this fight in 2017, 2018, something like that. That came about after a Supreme Court decision that paved the way for gambling back when it did with sports gambling at the college level. Immediately, the Big Ten said, well, if that's the case, then injury reports publicly should be the case. I guess my question here, what are these going to look like in the actual form they're going to require? Are we mimicking the NFL? Because, look, the NFL also punishes you if you lie on them.
Yes.
It is pretty strict.
To the point that they really don't lie.
Are we going to manipulate this, or are we going to have the same level of care with this at the college level?
I don't trust college football coaches at all, to be honest about this. As paranoid as college football is for the most part, I don't know how anybody could honestly trust this.
It's Quebec. Okay. Thanks, Sammy. Go ahead.
That's it.
You don't trust it?
Do you?
No.
I mean, don't leave me hanging on this
We'll
island.
have to to trust it. You would have to make it where it is so punitive to lie that almost makes no sense on that side. You know what I mean? Where you look at the rule and go, "What the hell is that?" And the answer is because otherwise they're just going to lie anyway. I mean, I'm good with the rule.
No, I think
I like it.
No, I mean, frankly, look, let's be serious here for a minute.
Oh, we weren't being serious?
No, I mean,
they're not going to lie.
No, I'm going to like the ultimate, like, no, all jokes.
Okay.
No sarcasm at all.
All right.
One of the reasons the sport has grown the way that it has is sports gambling.
Sure.
It's become a mainstay on pregame shows.
Sure.
It's become a mainstay on talk throughout the week.
On ESPN.com, when you go to schedule and go to a game, it has the line right above the time.
Right. The players are being paid now. I don't know. Oh, my bad. Sorry. I don't know how we don't think about that. I don't know how you don't say, okay, we've got to be more transparent. But we're in an era right now, like, where transparency is just not a thing in college football, in college athletics. Transparency is just not a thing. It's a thing in the NFL, but it's not a thing in college football right now. You agree?
No, I completely agree. I was looking for the Big Ten's protocol.
Okay.
And see if I could find it. If not, I'll find it later, and we'll talk about it tomorrow or whenever. Because I was curious exactly the way they are. The Big Ten distributes player availability reports on its website and posts them on social media. I guess I'm not seeing anything. It tells exactly what their requirements are at this point.
I mean, I guess Ole Misses would just have every name on the roster under "we hope they play."
That's what he says. Lord willing, hope he's out there.
Good Lord willing, if the creek don't rise, he'll be there.
It's got a certain Bull Durham-esque thing to it. LSU and Florida did some version of this voluntarily last year. They had already started.
Brian Kelly's a believer in it.
Yeah, he likes it. Even with no one else doing it, he did it to whatever level he told. I don't know. I guess we could ask somebody that covers them. Saban last year was essentially against it.
Yes.
Did not like it.
Felt it gave away a competitive advantage.
Pittman has been incredibly vocal on wanting it to happen. He has a quote here in the story that says, "Personally, it wouldn't bother me if they want to know exactly what our injury report was. You're going to find it out before the game anyway. If you're at the game, you're going to see who's suited out and who's not, who's limping and who isn't. But I understand that if it would help our players not get needled for information, I'd be all for it." Was his answer.
I mean, there's players on not every team. I shouldn't say that. I don't know that. There are players on teams who are basically informants.
Correct.
For bookies and such.
So it's only before games, though, in the Big Ten. Not like during the week where it's Tuesday, Wednesday practice.
Well, it's like the NFL. The NFL before a game,
Yeah, but they also do you have to fill out the questionable, probable,
right,
and a reason for every no-show at practice.
Right.
It does not appear to be that widespread. The Big Tens will submit availability reports no later than 2 hours before kickoff and then release to the public by the league.
Yeah.
Is the way they do their policies.
Well, I mean, we do it every single week. Like Ole Miss plays on a Saturday, and on Friday there's all the rumors about who is and isn't going to play, and people get mad if you don't chase it all day long. But the truth is, it's really hard to,
especially day of,
to nail it down.
Yeah, a lot of, no matter what, lower body injury.
Yeah.
Could be a hangnail, could be a femur sticking out. I don't know. Lower body ailment. Questionable, because we all are.
Yeah, we're all day to day.
All day to day. That's it.
I mean, I was running the other
was it
day.
Belichick that Brady used to be day to day on the report all the time?
Yeah.
Or
he was probable.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Likely.
Yeah.
I think so.
Feels good. I mean, I almost got run over by a car in the neighborhood. I could have gone from.
Did you really?
Yeah, I could have gone from likely to very doubtful.
Very doubtful.
Pretty fast. Oh, yeah, turned the corner. Just whipped around the corner. I was like, whoa.
Speed in neighborhoods is your biggest pet peeve on your list of pet peeves, isn't it?
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I mean, you just can't whip into a neighborhood. You can't go flying 55 miles an hour on a neighborhood street. There's kids. There's dogs. It's called a neighborhood, meaning it's a collection of neighbors, which means people in close proximity. You should slow down in a neighborhood.
It's true.
Yeah.
You got big speed bumps.
I don't think that's a crazy pet peeve.
No.
I think that's quite rational, in fact.
I guess pet peeve is even the wrong word. Thing that society does that bugs you, I guess, would have been the better
one of many
phrasing
thing. It's
there.
up near the top.
All right, there we go. I thought this was a pretty good thought exercise. ESPN.com did college football top 25 most important players to the 2024 playoff.
Okay.
They're in categories. It's not exactly like, 25. It's not 25 to 1 best players. It's just things that could impact.
Sure.
Some that are glad-handing, but for the most part, I thought 2 Ole Miss players on the list. I'll get to them in a minute.
Jackson Dart and
that's correct.
Walter Nolan.
That is correct.
Okay.
Those are the 2 Ole Miss players. I'll just go 25 to 1. We got time.
I'd probably add one to that.
Who you got?
Princely Uman-Mielen.
Okay. Because if they have a true pass rush specialist.
See, I screwed it up. Uman-Mielen.
Yeah, it's Mon, not
Uman-Mielen, not Uman. Uman-Mielen.
Princely.
I'm going to do his last name.
As you'll notice in the press conference of the day, everybody went, Princely. How are you? Good. All right, good.
Well, yeah, but in press conferences, we wouldn't say, yo, what's up, Dart? We'll say, hey, Jackson.
I don't know. I mean, people called Ely by his made up name every single week when he asked them to.
Yeah, that was.
Speaking of pet peeves, Mr. McCready.
That became a pet peeve. Like, what are we doing?
Tupelo with a good point. Sports is the only profession we need a guaranteed. I tell everyone at work on Fridays, hope to see you on Monday.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
Yeah. Well, like I quit saying, hey, I try not to say have a great day because that's a lot of pressure.
That's a lot of pressure. Have an adequate day.
Hey, just yeah.
Keep it between the lines, okay?
Have a day that's slightly above average.
Yeah. So Travis Hunter at 25, just because he's really damn good. That was it. They threw him in there at the bottom of the list.
All right, I'm already in disagreement.
That's fine.
Colorado's not making the playoff.
And he says this.
So he's not in.
Most of this list involves who will impact the title race, not just the CFP, blah, 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 blah. And while I personally don't think Colorado is anywhere near good enough to compete for the Big 12, this is the guy writing. What he's actually saying is, hey, I needed a way to get the Google machine to click Colorado here because of Dion and the clicks, so we just threw Hunter in at 25. Capiche?
If he would write that, I would have so much respect.
If he just,
yeah. I would. I'd be like, yeah, I get it.
Defensive tackle, Michigan, Mason Graham, number 24.
Okay.
He's on the list. Disruptor for the Wolverines, blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of this, as we go, the SEC and the Big Ten have so many teams. It's about your team, but it's also about upsets or how you're affecting other people at this point.
Of course.
Tennessee defensive end James Pierce. They're predicting a huge breakout for him, and that because of the schedule and who they plays, and also their own hopes and dreams as far as that. He was third nationally in pressure rate last season. So
highly considered a top first half of the first round pick.
Number 22, Luther Burton, Missouri Tigers, wide receiver, best player for Missouri.
Ooh, you could argue he's the best player in the SEC.
Well, these three, they're categorized under just pure transcendent potential, like going, hey, they're dudes. Like there's weird categories of this.
No, I mean, Burton could be a guy that you play who just has a day.
Yeah, I don't even know that it's necessarily in an order. It's just 25 in different categories.
Okay.
Spoiler quarterbacks is the next category.
Okay.
Number 21, Haynes King, Georgia Tech, because they think Tech could beat one of the ACC teams that could create some chaos.
He was good in Oxford last year.
Now, look, are they beating Georgia? Hell no. But the reason he's on the list is they play Florida State, Notre Dame, Miami, and Georgia. And he's a good quarterback.
He's good. He was, I mean, again, I'm being repetitive, but he was really good.
He was damn good last year.
He was really good.
Yeah, Tech is bad. Was bad last year.
But he wasn't.
Mm-mm.
He made some really good throws in that game.
So I get it. I don't hate that. Miller Moss at USC, just because they play a ton of Big Ten teams that are in the situation here.
Sure.
I don't have a problem with that. He his only career start was the 42-28 win over Louisville in the Holiday Bowl.
Yeah, he was
bowl
good.
Season last year.
Yeah, he was good.
But they play Michigan, Penn State, LSU, and Notre Dame this season.
Yeah, so far I'm fine.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. 19, and look, we talk about this team more than probably we should until November. Graham Mertz. They play a ton of teams. Because look, here's the truth of it though. Okay. If they go 1-4 in those last 5, they beat somebody very significant.
No, it's a good point. And what I was going to say was he is very average.
He didn't throw picks.
But what if he has a day where he has his day, the day that he'll talk about for the rest of his life?
Florida's schedule is arguably the hardest the sport has ever seen. They face teams projected 1st, 4th, 8th, 9th, 12th, 13th, 16th, 19th, and 25th in SP+.
Damn. Could legitimately be a good team that goes 5-7.
If the season starts going sideways, he can end up splitting time with 5-star freshman DJ Lagway, by the way. That is what they are saying in Gainesville.
Well, if you're Billy and you're wanting to kind of save things, you do want to say, hey, look what we have.
Hey.
Yeah.
The future. Here we are.
And if you fire me, he might leave. He'd have suitors.
The next category, most important non-quarterback transfers. Number 8, our boy Quinshon Judkins, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Judkins and Henderson rushed for 10 yards or more on 14% of their carries last season and both averaged around 3 yards per carry after contact. Henderson's ceiling is probably higher when healthy, but you're not banking your season on his health. Without Henderson, Judkins, and slot man Emeka Egbuka, You're giving transfer quarterback Will Howard some vast riches to play with. Good.
Yeah, listen, Quinshon Judkins is a good football player.
Number 17, Parker Brailsford, center, Alabama.
Yeah, one of the Washington guys.
Sure enough, a problem.
Ole Miss wanted him.
Mm-hmm. Number 16, Jamari Caldwell, defensive tackle, Oregon.
Okay.
Oregon's in this mix. Play a bunch of people, all that stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Number 15, Damani Jackson and or Deshaun Jones, cornerbacks, Alabama. Part of that is because of the way they play their schedule. When you look at opposing receivers that they will play, a lot of blue chips. Georgia's Dylan Bell, Tennessee's Brew McCoy, Missouri's Burden, LSU's Kyron Lacey, C.J. Daniels, Oklahoma's Jalek Farouk, and Nick Anderson, all on Bama's schedule this season.
Oklahoma lost a receiver yesterday, right?
Did they? I don't
think
know.
so.
Texas potentially lost a running back. C.J. Baxter suffered a knee injury yesterday for the Longhorns.
Man.
Yeah. We haven't seen MRI results yet, but he did leave practice with a knee injury yesterday. Wide receivers, Texas, Isaiah Bond or Silas Bolden, as Texas tries to run through this thing.
Yeah.
Which I get. And then number 13, Walter Nolan, defensive tackle, Ole Miss. Gives a bunch of his stats, all those things, and then says Nolan was one of the shining lights of Kiffin's 2024 transfer class, one loaded with possible breakthrough contributors. Kiffin's Rebels have lagged behind the Georgias and Alabamas when it comes to line play. If Nolan is properly focused and playing at a high level, Ole Miss has genuine top 5 potential.
I never know how to write this, like when you go out to practice. And again, we're not seeing anything that's like contact. We're not seeing one-on-ones. We're not seeing OL versus DL. We're not seeing anything. But Ole Miss's defensive line, just from a physical standpoint, that group, it looks elite.
Yeah.
Now, it might not play elite. I don't know. We'll see. And we're not seeing anything where you're like getting to judge. I'm not watching Nolan go up against Jeremy James or Nate Kaleppo or anything like that. We're not seeing anything like that. In fact, I'm not even seeing him go up against a bag. But they look the part.
Under this category, an honorable mention was Kaleppo for Ole Miss, trying to shore up their offensive line issues.
Oh, I think he's super important. I buy that completely.
Yeah, he is on this list.
Because look, if Ole Miss is going to make the playoff,
line's got to be good.
It's probably got to be better than it was a year ago.
No, it does. No, there's no doubt. Protect, run game, the whole deal.
Because you don't have Judkins in the running game. You're going to have to be better. And I don't think they want to run Dart as much as they ran him a year ago.
Mm-hmm. The next category is in the top 12 is potential stars in need of a breakthrough. So guys who need to take that next step.
Okay.
Dylan Bell, wide receiver, Georgia.
Yeah.
They need him to potentially be Beck's number 1 guy this season. Carnell Tate or Jeremiah Smith, wide receivers, Ohio State, on this list. Wide receiver Kobe Prentice, Alabama, on this list.
Okay.
He is he's the most likely guy to it says basically if he doesn't do it, Alabama is going to struggle to have a top 5 bar because they don't have an elite talent at wide receiver. But it's kind of him or nothing from their receiving core.
Boy, it's been a minute since they haven't had one.
Mm-hmm. Number 9, Donovan Edwards. He's the new running back at Michigan.
He's really good.
He is. He is very, very good. Number 8, quarterbacks with a potential game-changing leap in them.
Yeah.
Number 8, our old boy Cam Ward, now at Miami because they play a lot of guys, a lot of teams. They play people who they could upset, and Cam Ward could get you for a day.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 7, maybe the name that when you talk about opponents, the most important one on Ole Miss's schedule, Garrett Nussmeier.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Probably could dedicate full podcast to whatever Nussmeier becomes greatly impacts Ole Miss this season.
Yes.
Maybe more than any other player.
Oh.
I think that's true. I think I'm right.
Yeah, I can't argue.
Because if you get that one, that changes so many things.
Assuming that you get the other ones.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that you're undefeated when you go to LSU for the sake of the conversation.
Yeah, I buy that.
I think Nussmeier is the most important.
Okay.
So he's number 7 on this list. He basically they say all the same things there. Jackson Dart, number 6.
Jackson took a big leap last year. If he takes another big leap this year, it's going to be difficult for Ole Miss not to be an elite team.
Let's see. Dart ranked 16th in total QBR last season, propped up by strong overall numbers, 11th in yards per dropback, 15th in TD to interception ratio, but dragged down a bit by propensity to take a while to throw and then scramble into trouble. He returns 2 of his 3 key receivers and will have both an excellent new wideout and one of the nation's better tight end duos at his disposal. If he can raise his numbers to a top 10 level, and if Ole Miss's line play improves as expected, there's not much that would keep Ole Miss from being a top 5 team.
Agreed.
Yeah. Number 5, and I know they play a lot of people. I know they have high expectations, but there's nothing about Drew Ayler that makes me think he is in this conversation. He is a media darling when he looked like raw hell against Ole Miss at the Peach Bowl.
He dates like a supermodel.
Does he really?
Yeah. I mean, apparently he has a really good life.
I mean,
but I don't get it. I mean, he was fine that day against Ole Miss, but there was nothing special about him.
No,
he was fine. He was Graham Mertz.
Ooh.
He was fine.
He was Graham Mertz.
You didn't watch Aller and go, he sucks. You didn't do that, but you didn't ever go, man.
No, it's because he has such a reputation to be good. So he never pops. And you look at it and go.
But if you just take that away and you go in with no expectations, you go, oh, he's fine. He's okay. But that's as far as you go. Like, as opposed to Haynes King, where Haynes King did some things last year where you're like, damn. He's legit.
They hired Andy Kotelnicki as offensive coordinator, trying to get production. They did that around the Peach Bowl. I don't think they actually call plays, but they had all that stuff going on.
Oh, I remember his press conference. He was impressive.
Was he really?
Yeah. I'll give Penn State this.
Yeah.
All jokes aside. From a pure, like, media savvy, program media savviness, I don't know that I've ever encountered any program more impressive over a course of a week than Penn State was in Atlanta.
Really?
Every kid was amazing in interview settings.
Okay. Yeah, it says here, I mean, I guess we knew this. The Lions won double-digit games 5 times in the past 7 seasons, but they've lost 3 straight to Michigan and 7 straight to Ohio State. Getting over the hump has been an elusive prospect. He has a cannon arm, and then Kotelnicki produced nearly elite quarterback play out of 2 different Kansas quarterbacks the past 2 seasons. So can he get more out of
Aller?
Yeah, Aller at this point. So
they'd be a team that if they won, I'd be kind of happy for them.
Jalen Milroe, number 4, Alabama.
100%. You couldn't do this list and not put him on it.
They the thesis, the nut graph is Milroe's ceiling is immense and his floor is subterranean.
Agreed.
So see what he does, ladies and gentlemen.
And they might go as he goes.
Now he'll suit up for Kalen DeBoer, the guy who helped turn Michael Penix Jr. from a fun but inconsistent player into one of the best quarterbacks in the sport. We don't know yet if he has the receivers he needs, but his ceiling certainly isn't going to be any lower in 2024. Other candidates in this category: Jackson Arnold, Iam Oliva at Tennessee, Avery Johnson, Cade Klubnik, Connor Wegman. I guess that's it.
Yeah, I'm not doing the Klubnik thing, but
no,
I'm out. Arnold's interesting to me.
Yeah,
he was the name that when you said that about Nussmeier, his name popped up in my head. Is what you hear about Oklahoma is that they're going to be really good on defense, and so if Arnold is as good as the hype, look out. But that's a lot to ask.
Yeah, I feel like he's got a transition year coming. I'm not. It's why I'm pretty against Oklahoma making a big run. I think 2025 is the year we're going to talk about Arnold more. It just feels like this year's not it.
Yeah.
When Ole Miss goes to Norman next season, then we'll have that conversation. And then the final 3 categories: new starting quarterbacks for potential contenders. Dylan Gabriel, number 3 at Oregon.
Do you think we can arrange for Ole Miss's trip to Norman to coincide with maybe late in the year and the Thunder can play a Friday night home game?
We need to talk to the Thunder because we already know essentially probably what week, give or take, it is for football. I mean, they're basically just reversing this.
Okay.
So it's as long as
probably a little early in the year for basketball.
You'd like to be able to hit that up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, or even a Sunday where I could stay a day. I like OKC.
Were you a little happy when Canada lost yesterday because SGA doesn't get hurt now? He can just come on back home?
Yeah. Yep.
No more minutes, no more games.
He and Lou are fine. Go.
I felt like your demeanor changed a little bit too because it's not a Thunder player, but Giddey kind of got a little banged up there at the end of the Australia game. We're like, hey, just get out of here. Let's get on home. Nothing go.
I wish no ill will on Josh. I hope he has a great career in Chicago.
Yeah. Gabriel, number 3. Alex Orji, the new quarterback at Michigan, number 2.
Okay.
You not in.
I mean, it feels a little high, but I get where they're going. That's fine.
And number 1, who do you think? Who have I left out?
Carson Beck.
He's not on the list.
Oh.
Georgia is a machine. They don't care.
Okay. Who have you left out? Is it SEC player?
Nope.
Okay. The Ohio State quarterback?
Will Howard.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah, he's got to have a big year.
23rd in total QBR last season, despite not throwing to Ohio State's receivers. Not bad.
Oh, no, he's good. But I never watched Will Howard and thought great.
Says there's no guarantee he ends up better than McCord, and if he doesn't, Ohio State might not reach the promised land, even with a pretty easy job. He's the most important player in the country in 2024.
Yeah, make the argument.
You can make the argument. Kyle McCord now the quarterback at Syracuse.
Yeah.
Different day for Mr. McCord.
A lot less pressure.
I'm sure the Orange paid him.
Yeah.
Which Ohio State would have paid him too.
Yeah. Nico got mentioned, Grind.
Yeah. He was an honorable mention in that category.
Yeah. I think that's them saying they don't think Tennessee's
quite there.
Really a contender.
Yeah. They're a sleeper. I wouldn't mind having a ticket on them.
Oh, sure. If you told me I could have a flyer on a couple of teams, that'd be one of the ones I'd think about.
Yeah, I think Tennessee's it. So, all right, more football in a minute. First, tell you about the Women's Athletics Foundation. I want to thank you for their incredible 2023-2024 athletics season. None of it's possible without you, the fans. Fall sports are right around the corner. They can't wait to get you back on campus soon. 2024 men's and women's basketball season ticket and donation renewal deadline is August 31st. If you want to get your priority points up before seat or parking selections, call the foundation. You can do that at 662-915-7159. For more information, visit give2athletics.com. That's GIVETO athletics.com.
Arnett's Fine Jewelry is a fourth-generation jeweler located in the old Landman's Jewelry Building on North Lamar Avenue in Oxford. They offer expert jewelry repair, diamond engagement rings, wedding bands, stackable diamonds, genuine stone bands, pearls, genuine color stones, diamond jewelry, and more. They offer super gifts for many occasions, birthdays, graduation, anniversary gifts. They can help you find that perfect Christmas present as well at Arnett's. They want to be your jeweler. We're brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating, different names, same great people, products, and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call our friends at Comer, 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, South Haven, Memphis, that area, call Southern, 662-429-4429. Don't forget, College Corner is the place to go if you're starting to stock up for your gear for the upcoming football season. 2 locations in the Jackson area, 1 in Oxford right off of Sisk Avenue in the Oxford Commons. Don't forget, leave a tip. The tip goes to the Grove Collective and gets you registered for a Grove Collective Jackson Dart autographed football. You can also check them out online at collegecornerstore.com. When you work with Argent Wealth's 401k advisory services team, you gain a valuable advisory team and time-saving resource that will help you develop and maintain a solid strategy for your retirement plan. They're committed to providing you with the personalized attention and involvement that you want and need. Their goal is to help you manage your 401k plan properly and ultimately improve your employees' retirement readiness. It's myargentwealth.com. And we're brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. Get in touch with John if you're thinking about a trip that you want to be a special one that creates a lifetime of unique memories. Give him some parameters, give him a budget that's really important, and then let him give you some options. And know this, you don't have to live in or near Memphis to take advantage of his services. 901-494-3387 or jedwards@regencytravel.net. Oxford's newest Greek restaurant on the square, Opa, is the perfect place to plan your company dinner, your festive party event, maybe your Christmas party. It'll be the holidays before you know it. They feature fabulous food, great craft libations. They can accommodate up to 200 guests at Opa. For catering or booking information, contact Jeannie, 601-421-7147.
Podcast also brought to you by G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area and they offer medicine. If your prescriptions the same day each month and take care of you, they also can transfer your medications easily. One phone call and they take care of the rest. So whether it be Tyson Drugs in Holly Springs or G&M in Oxford, that's 662-236-2222. So I realized that now that we've got preseason NFL games and we're getting into the football season for the NFL, we haven't really gone over the kickoff rules as they have changed for this season.
Yeah, Tyler has talked about this. I'm lost.
So
it sounds intimidating. I've just left it alone.
They're taking a page out of the XFL book, which is not typically something you hear. But there's a couple things there that made sense, and including kickoffs. And what has happened is over time, because they were trying to limit the amount of concussions and injuries of just running full contact into each other on kickoffs with elite athletes, they removed the kickoff as even being a part of the game because of the way it had been changed. So they're trying to bring it back now with a set of new rules. And then one, I'm not going to say unintended because they knew what they were doing, but one consequence that does change the game is that the surprise onside kick is completely dead.
Right.
You can only onside kick in the NFL moving forward in the fourth quarter.
And if you're behind.
And you can only do it twice in the fourth quarter total. And you have to announce that you're doing it because you have to set up differently than a normal kickoff. Good luck recovering it.
Yeah.
Because it already was very unlikely anyway. And now you're telling them you're doing it, you're completely changing it, and you can only do it in the fourth quarter. I mean, so the Saints Super Bowl would not exist in today's. That play would not exist in this situation.
It was a big play.
It was a big play, yes.
Nick Saban did one time in a third quarter of a championship game. That was a huge play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No more of that. No, sir.
Morstead for the Saints always talked about it was the nervousness because the Super Bowl halftime show is so long that Peyton told him it was coming, and he just had to wait like 45 minutes. And it was like, you just start.
Cannot imagine.
Yeah. And it's just loud because you're hearing the who and the whole deal, and it's kind of a mess. So, okay, old versus new. Here's the new rules. Still kicking from the 35-yard line. That has not changed at this point. So in the old rule, obviously, the 10 players on the kicking team were at the 35 along with the kicker, and they were lined up. Now the 10 players on the kicking team are at the receiving team's 40-yard line.
Okay.
So kicker's by himself back here on the 35. His 10 teammates are on the other 40 at this point. In the old scheme, 8 to 9 receiving team players were on the kicking team's 45, 40, something like that. The new rule, 9 to 10 of the receiving team's players will be in the setup zone, which is in the 30 to 35-yard line. So
15 yards away, 10 yards.
10 or even 5 yards away. Yeah, really close, lined up right next to each other. In the past, there's always been one returner near the goal line, obviously. Now you can have 1 or 2 returners in landing zones, which is the goal line to the 20-yard line at this point. So we're going to see more 2 returner schemes in the NFL at this point, they're saying. Only the kicker and the returners can move while the ball is in the air. So blockers nor defenders can move until the ball is caught or hits the ground.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
When you see it, it makes sense.
I'll need to see it.
Okay. The ball lands.
Andy Kennedy always says men are visual learners, and I swear I think he's telling the right. I think that applies to me.
If the ball lands or is fielded before reaching the 20. So if they do some sort of weird onside kick or a pooch or something, it's just spotted at the 40-yard line. So the kicker has to kick it to at least the 20.
Okay.
Otherwise, you get the ball at the 40. Touchbacks are spotted at the 30 instead of the 25. So they're moving that up 5 yards.
Okay.
If you kick the ball into the end zone. which is trying to get them to kick it in play, not kick touchbacks.
To try to pooch it
deep,
up high, deep, and then,
Yes.
Gotcha.
And if a ball is kicked out of bounds, it is still at the 40-yard line at this point.
Okay.
I've read a couple stories, including one that, because, the NFL is pretty good at letting their official sites put up news content. I was reading a thing from the Cardinals about how they think that their special teams coordinator believes it's going to change the type of player that returns kicks and the way it's set up. Because he said in the past, it was more resembling, it's why you had Devin Hester's of the world, and the way the kickoff teams were set was it resembled a 7-on-7 type of situation or a wide receiver situation catching the ball in the open field. He said now he actually believes that you're going to use 2 returners and a power scheme, and he believes running backs now are going to field kicks because it's set up as a power play and a rushing play versus a receiver play at this point.
Okay.
Yeah. There's also the chance kickers start trying to make more tackles because they get to move on the kick.
I don't know that I'd want that if I'm an NFL team. I need my kicker kicking.
I might just give up the 5 yards if he's the only guy that's going to make that.
Yeah, I might got some guy that's making 55-yard kicks consistently. I don't need him getting banged up.
Yeah, the Ravens for 2 decades didn't want Justin Tucker going down there and putting his head in the middle of that stuff.
No, absolutely not. You don't want Adam Vinatieri tackling somebody. No, go over to the side, kick the ball into a net a few times.
Some teams have wondered, speaking of Tucker, he's in this paragraph, some teams have wondered whether putting the ball in play so often will expose kickers to injury if they have to make a tackle. The Chiefs, for instance, spent part of the spring considering whether to remove kicker Harrison Butker from kickoffs and use safety Justin Reed, who attempted 2 extra points and kicked off 7 times in emergency duty during the 22 season instead. Baltimore Ravens kicker Justin Tucker, meanwhile, has put on a few pounds to prepare for contact.
Oh.
Hey, Justin.
Yeah, again,
you're not going to win that fight with a linebacker down there that's trying to block you.
And that's not what I'm paying you for.
No.
I'm paying you to make that field goal with 1:42 to go. I'm paying you to make that 51-yard field goal to salvage a drive.
Yes.
I don't really care about you tackling somebody. In fact, I'd rather you just did not.
I'm never going to yell at you because you miss a tackle.
No.
Ever.
No, I
might yell at you if you try to tackle him.
I want you to be healthy. I mean, you mess up like a hip or something on a kicker, it's over.
And Tucker's what, 35, 36
now at
like
least? That, but I mean, he's a beast. But that's like a golf swing.
Yeah, you're done once you're done.
You know, I mean.
34. Been doing this a long time.
I mean, if I go take the top 10 golfers in the world.
He's a lock for the Hall of Fame.
And I give them like a hip injury or a shoulder injury or something. They're not a top 10 golfer anymore. Still good, but they're not elite.
No, everything's different.
And I'm paying you to be elite. I'm paying Harrison Butker to go make that 52-yarder, man.
Yeah, that's what he's here for.
Every time. I don't need you getting slung around and crushed by some 250-pound dude. Nope.
ESPN.com adding to a lot of people out on the Eagles as far as just their locker room. Sirianni's in trouble despite them winning a lot of games.
That was a collapse last season.
Top story on the head of ESPN right now, Tim McManus and Jeremy Fowler, inside the disconnect between Eagles coach Nick Sirianni and quarterback Jalen Hurts. It's the lead story on ESPN this morning.
Before week 1. Good luck. In a weird division.
Below that, a video. What caused Hurts and Sirianni's relationship to fracture?
Oh.
Things they wouldn't do to SEC teams for 500, Alex.
You don't think they'd write that about SEC teams?
You kidding?
No, I'm serious.
No, I don't.
You don't, really?
No.
Because of the corporate partnership?
Yeah.
Huh.
Potentially. I'm thinking through it. I mean, we talk without really thinking most of the time.
Sure.
But
I mean,
and obviously they're a hell of an NFL corporate partner. Don't get me wrong. I get it.
Yeah.
But
be an awfully big story to sit on. But that's, hey.
Is it a story you're sitting on, or is it a story you dug up, though? It's not like going, hey, this is out here and everybody knows it. It's whether you pursued the story to begin with that is the question. Because also college coaches are more tied into reporters and reporters feeling they need college coaches.
Yeah.
So you're attacking that relationship in a way. It would actually tell me that they think he's a dead man walking, and it doesn't matter whether I
Yeah.
get anything from him or not at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's what I would think.
Yeah. I'm kind of thinking through it as we talk about it.
If he's been my dude and I'm reporting on this team because he tells me everything, if I go chop his legs out,
yeah.
Hey, Kiffin's been feeding me, and I go, hey, Kiffin and Dart, they hate each other. Let me tell you about it. Here's the story. Here's the video. Probably not getting that call on Tuesday.
It's probably not happening. You're right. No, it's a different. Again, we go back to the injury reports. It goes back to there's a difference. It's become profound, really. There's a difference in the way that the NFL is covered as opposed to the way the college football is covered. Practices. The NFL beat writers, they see practice. They have locker room time. There is communication. I used this word last night, and I think I'm right. I'm not even being critical. It's just a word that comes to mind. College football has become paranoid. I mean, some of the paranoia is difficult to even justify, but it has become paranoid. It's difficult for me to imagine that Lane Kiffin, Brent Venables, those kind of people are suddenly going to become just open books about what's happening on their rosters as it pertains to injuries. I don't foresee that. Who's going to fine them? Who's going to enforce the fine? Who collects the fine?
Right.
How does that work?
Yeah.
Again, in the NFL, you have all of this stuff is collectively bargained. And the NFL there's no secret about their partnership with gambling.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL is king for several reasons. And one of the biggest ones is fantasy football, sports gambling.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy in Dubuque who's sitting there watching Red Zone all day, it's not because he's dying to see what the Bears do Sunday.
No, fantasy gambling.
Yeah, he's got his 2 fantasy teams.
And he decided to put a hundy on the Bears for the
he's got a hundy on the Bears, and he's got a hundy on the Chargers, and he's got 50 on the Falcons to cover the line.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs Josh Allen to throw for at least 220 yards today and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And he needs Harrison Butker to make a couple of kicks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's a big part of what they do. I don't know that the college game is completely willing to admit that that's where they are.
Yeah. No, not yet. I have not seen a prognosis. I don't think it's anything crazy serious, but Christian McCaffrey with a calf issue yesterday left practice for the 49ers. So that is of note.
Yeah, those things
they can linger for a minute.
For a good while.
Yeah.
Now, if you're the Niners, you don't need him in the preseason.
No. So he's sitting until the opener, but still. All right. We'll wrap up in a minute. Before we do that, tell you about NE Spark. Northeast Spark serves people across rural communities. 2 packages, the Ignite, the 100 Mbps, or the Blaze. That is the 1 gig option, their fastest option available. Your hometown team bringing you world-class broadband. That's nespark.com, 662-238-3159. Phone service, portal controls, network security, a wireless mesh extender for those who need the extra help, and more. Again, that's 662-238-3159 or nespark.com.
Get the beautiful, healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. Schedule your appointment today, and take the first step toward a better version of yourself at corinthdental.com. Are you a displaced corporate executive wanting to put your career in your own hands? Are you an experienced entrepreneur looking to diversify? Either way, Andy Ludicky can help. He owns multiple franchises and businesses, uses his expertise to help others find their American dream through a very thorough and free consultation process. So call Andy, put your life and your career in your own hands. It's 100% free. You've got nothing to lose. It's myperfectfranchise.net, Andy at myperfectfranchise.net, or 404-973-9901. I'll have a mailbag to you up a little bit later today. It's brought to you by Art Hayes, Sotheby's International Realty. Are you thinking of making a move? Put the power of Sotheby's to work for you. As a licensed agent with Sotheby's International Realty and a supporter of all things Ole Miss, Art can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world at no charge to you. Seriously. So call and ask Art how. 612-805-5929 or email Art at Arthur, ARTHUR.Hayes, HAYS, at lakesmn.com.
Both Team USA basketball teams are back in play the next couple days. The women's team plays Nigeria at 2:30 today on USA and Peacock, and then the men play the semifinals against Serbia tomorrow at 2:30 after dispatching Brazil yesterday. Serbia won an overtime thriller against Australia, and as I mentioned earlier, home country France upset Canada to advance to the medal round as well.
They did.
So there's that Olympic update for you here.
Victor Wembanyama is good at basketball, and Evan Fournier's 3 at the shot clock buzzer was the killer. It was dagger.
Yeah, Wembanyama was really good defensively yesterday. He's quite a bit of a presence in the paint. So
7'6" guys that can move.
Yeah,
turns out they're good at basketball.
It's problematic with the link a little bit there. Yeah. USA currently leading the medal count 86-60-48 over China and France. The U.S. was minus 2,500 if you wanted to bet on winning the medal count. So I was talking to somebody yesterday. It's because they're good at everything to some degree. Like the other countries hang around from swimming for a while, but then don't do anything in track, and then the track countries don't swim, and it just kind of becomes this thing. They did win two. The U.S. representatives did win pretty cool races yesterday. The 1,500 in the men's, and then Gabby Thomas won the 200 with the women. Mackenzie Long, Ole Miss former athlete, finished 7th in the 200 meters. So that's an accomplishment. You made the finals of the Olympics.
Yes.
So I saw a couple people going, "Oh, that sucks." Like, no, it doesn't suck. That's like sucks for her, but even so, no, it's she's on the very front end of her career. It's gonna be all right. It's okay. So 7th for Mackenzie Long after qualifying there for the final.
Yeah, usually the peak for that is like 4 years from now.
26, 27-ish.
Yeah, probably the next Olympics she'll have a real shot.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, because she just now turned pro. I mean, she just now. Cole Hocker is who won the 1,500, the U.S.
Did you see that, by the way?
Had a kick there at the end, didn't he?
Holy cow.
Just kind of hanging out, and then
all of a sudden, like, went 2 gears.
So that's 15/16 of a mile. So 1/16 from a mile, and he won in 3:30-ish. Do that math.
Can you imagine running a mile in 3 minutes and 30 seconds? I mean, I was excited this morning that my time was down to 10 minutes and 7 seconds.
What was his time? Let's see. 3 minutes, 27 seconds for 15/16 of a mile.
I mean, think about that.
So add another. It's by far under a 4-minute mile.
Yeah, it's
3:40. It's a 3:40-ish mile.
Let's go set the treadmill on that.
Well, I had this conversation, so I looked it up yesterday, and the fastest marathon ever, the pace it's like 4:35 a mile for 26 miles. Dude, I think that's what it is. It's like 4:35, 4:36.
We're not all the same. That's not even a political comment. That's a fact. You couldn't train yourself to do it. If you dedicated your entire life to that, you still couldn't do it.
Kelvin Kiptum, 2023 Chicago Marathon, set the record for verified marathon under normal circumstances.
It was under 2 hours, right?
2 hours, 35 seconds.
Okay.
There has been a 1:59, but they had hydration and different things that were not legal by the standards to have them verified by the World Running Association or whatever it is.
Okay.
But the fastest marathon under normal circumstances is 2 hours, flat, 35 seconds.
I ran a half once in 2 hours flat.
Good. You're halfway done.
I mean, yeah.
And yes, it is 4:36 minutes per mile. 4 minutes and 36 seconds.
Just nope.
He beat the previous record by 34 seconds.
Nope.
Well, it's my favorite videos. You can see, you can find them on YouTube where they have them at a lot of expos for major marathons. They have a treadmill set at the 4:36 for you to try to even just get to that max speed and stay on a treadmill for a few seconds. But in this conversation I had yesterday, I mean, I'm trying to run one in a few months. I couldn't imagine the day before the marathon being at the expo and going, hey, I've done all this training. Let me jump on a treadmill that's 4 minutes and 36 seconds per mile. It's basically 13 miles per hour on a treadmill and risk breaking an ankle or something because I'm an idiot the day before running the marathon.
Yeah. I would
hurt myself.
I would not recommend that. I would recommend doing what the Higdon thing says to do, which is go out that morning and do a leisurely 2-mile run.
And get off your feet.
And then get off your feet.
Yeah.
Very leisurely.
It's going to be a little bit of a scheduling situation because the game is at noon that day, and I got to get over to the expo at some point, so I have to figure that out. We will figure it out. It'll be fine. But I'm just, I was in my head, I was kind of doing because it's not even 11, it's going to be 12.
We'll make it work.
It's fine. Yeah, I don't care. You start doing logistical problems in your head way in advance, and
if you need to take that day off, you can.
I'm not taking the day off. I'm just sitting in a hotel room. But yeah, I mean, I'm not like you're going to go out and walk 30,000 steps and enjoy the sights the day before.
No, I would highly recommend that you do what they advise that you do, which I think is a 2-mile leisurely run.
And I've told you, I'm having to resist being an idiot while admitting that I'm being an idiot because I think I told you I don't feel like it's enough miles, and I'm like stir crazy because I don't feel like the program is calling for enough distance, and
hundreds of thousands of people have followed the program. It works. Don't be an idiot.
Hal probably knows more than I know at this point. So
yes,
shut up.
I feel safe in saying that he is more of an expert in preparing for a marathon than you are.
Yes,
you should probably just follow the rules.
Yeah. Yes, there's some truth there. I know.
Even I did that.
Even you followed the protocol.
Literally 100%.
Mm-hmm. I know. I mean, I get it.
It told me to run 5 miles. I ran 5 miles. It told me to run 3 miles. I ran 3 miles.
Don't run.
It told me on Fridays, don't run. So I didn't.
Yeah.
Then on Saturday, you had to run. And on Sunday, you had to
where I had
run.
to, and I think I told you this, I know in my brain and everything else, just getting this accomplished is going to be the only goal I'm focused on. But I had like that 1 week period where I was trying to talk myself into trying to do the 8K the day before. And I'm like, don't be an idiot. Stop. Just
for what?
Well, they had a sign up thing and they were like, if you run them both, you get a third medal for doing the duo. And I'm like, okay, stop.
That medal.
Stop.
That medal.
Yeah.
That'll be the medal you'll wear everywhere.
Yeah, it was like you get, you run the marathon, you run the 8K, and you get the Freedom Medal or the Independence Medal or whatever they call it because it's in Philadelphia and the whole deal. And I went, no, it's okay.
You will be struck at the halfway mark when the elite marathoners are finished and you're halfway finished and you're like, whoa.
Thinking about how fast and what the distance of that is.
Yeah, and somebody will have the sign that hurry up, the Kenyans are drinking your beer, and it's true. They're not drinking your beer because they're preparing to run another marathon in 2 days. But if they wanted to be drinking your beer right now, they could.
Yeah.
And you realize that we're just not all made to do the same things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually read a story yesterday on why Kenyans and Ethiopians are so good at the distance running and all the things about their region that make it so. It's pretty interesting. The altitude they train at is a big indicator of it because they have an increased oxygen intake.
But when you watch them run in person, it's amazing. It's incredible. Yeah, they're like it's beautiful to watch. I mean, they're effortless. It's like their feet don't touch the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Their stride is long and it's incredible.
Yeah. So, anyway. All right, we will wrap it there. Be back with you tomorrow in some capacity. We haven't really discussed it, so we'll figure that out, and then have football and more content to you coming up as the week moves on. So I hope all of you have a wonderful day. Appreciate you watching the stream and listening wherever you are. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow.